Hi, there are many YouTube videos and instructions online on how to play Mancala or Kalaha, I believe they both are pronounced. However, though, there is a lot of confusion regarding some of the rules here and how to actually play the game. First thing to know though is that Mancala is actually not a specific game per se, but instead a whole family of games with the common denominator that they consist of a board with holes where you move stones, or seeds as they are called, and try to beat the other player by collecting the most of these stones. Kalaha here is then sort of a specific variant within the Mancala family of games, which is a bit more modern and commercially available compared to some of the more ancient game variants. For extra confusion, the Kalaha variant here is also most commonly sold under the Mancala name in the US, whereas Kalaha is the more common name for the game in Europe and the likes. Alright, enough history lessons. You're here to play, and as far as I remember, there are two main ways of playing this game. The classic one, where you capture the other player's seeds when landing in an empty hole on your side, and the one I played mostly as a kid called Avalanche, where you are allowed to just keep going as long as you land in a hole that has got seeds in it. Alright, let's start with classic, that actually has super simple rules. First, 4 seeds in each hole. Some versions has got 3 seeds and some versions has got 5 seeds as well. Each player owns one side plus the big hole, or the Kalaha, to the right of it. The goal then is to end up with most seeds in your own Kalaha when the game is over. Okay. To play, the first player starts by picking up these seeds from any hole on his or her side and distribute them one by one counterclockwise to the right. If you pass your own Kalaha, put one seed in there too, but do not put any seeds in your opponent's Kalaha, so just go past that one if you got enough seeds to do so. Next, if your last seed ends up in your own Kalaha, you can go again. If your last seed ends up in one of the holes already containing seeds, either on your own side or on your opponent's side, your turn is over and the next player gets to go. If your last seed ends up in an empty bowl, your turn is also over. However, if you end up in an empty bowl on your own side and your opponent's bowl opposite of it has got seeds in it, you actually get to steal his or her seeds and place them in your own Kalaha, including the seed you just put in your own empty bowl as well. Neat. And then this is basically the game. When one player has got no more seeds to grab, the rest of the remaining seeds on the other player's side gets to be picked up by that player and put in his or her Kalaha. The winner is then the player with most seeds in his or her Kalaha. Sweet! Now for the even simpler Avalanche version, which also sometimes referred to as the kids version. Here we start with the same 4 seeds in each bowl. The first player picks up all the seeds from one bowl on his or her side and then distributes them one by one to the right, also putting one seed in their own Kalaha and skipping the other player's one. And same as before, if the last seed lands in the player's own Kalaha, he or she gets to go again. The catch here though is that if a player lands in any bowl, regardless of the side that already has got seeds in it, excluding the Kalahas, the player then gets to pick up all those seeds, including the one he or she just put in the bowl, and then keep going. This process then gets repeated until the player lands in a bowl that has got no seeds in it, and then it's the other player's turn. In this version, there's no capturing of other players' seeds or anything like that. You either get to keep going if you land in your own Kalaha, or if there are seeds in the bowl, you leave your last seed in. And then the turn goes to the other player when you land in an empty bowl, regardless of side. The game then ends when there are no seeds left at all on the board, meaning that sometimes a player can go 2 or more times if the player on the opposite side happens to have no seeds left in his or her bowls. Alright, those are the 2 main versions, at least according to me, on how you play Kalaha or Mancala, depending on which country you are located in. Hopefully I got everything correct. Please though share any thoughts or questions in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you for watching. Bye!